This is Nick Nilsson, Mad Scientist of Muscle, and what I've got for you today here is a workout that I call Nightmare Fuel for your arms. Now this is a bodyweight workout where you're using two different bodyweight exercises for the extreme stretch position for your biceps and for your triceps. Now to clarify, we're not looking for an unsafe stretch here, we're just looking for a good stretch on the muscle. So basically what you're going to be doing is setting a bar in the power rack or using a Smith machine bar, totally fine, but you will need a bar for this, and a bench. Set the bar to about waistband height, about hip height. You're going to do two exercises, like I said. The first one is a stretch exercise for your biceps. So set your hands just a little bit outside shoulder width apart. Now the trick for this one, you're going to be facing away. You're going to come down. Do not touch your knees to the ground. So you're basically kind of mimicking the incline dumbbell curl position. So you're getting a massive stretch on your biceps, but you're not resting here. We don't want to take the tension off. The tension is important on the stretch. So keep your toes, you keep your knees off the ground. Then get that stretch, use your biceps to pull up and back. Now obviously your legs will contribute, but you want to basically minimize that and try and use your biceps as much as possible. So self-spotting and be honest with yourself. The other exercise for your biceps is going to be a bodyweight tricep extension. For this one, use the same bar, same height. Set a bench about 3 to 4 feet outside of the rack. Set your hands on top of the bar, set your feet on the bench. Now you're going to do a bodyweight extension. How I like to teach it is grab onto the bar, thumbless grip, rotate your shoulders externally, meaning grip on, rotate out or down, so that the inside of your elbows is pointing straight forward. This is going to give you a better hinge, better effect on the long head of the triceps. So grip on, rotate, and come down. So as you can see at the bottom, this puts maximum stretch on the triceps, specifically the long head, which is the big one that hangs down at the bottom, the one that has the most mass potential. Now, how we're going to structure this workout is as follows. You can do this in a block of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm going to do a straight through block of 40 minutes, which is where the Nightmare Fuel comes in. What I'm going to do here is time volume training. This is where I take that block of time. I'm going to do 3 reps of each exercise. So I'm going to do 3 reps of the bicep exercise. Take 10 seconds rest, 3 reps of the tricep exercise, 10 seconds rest, 3 reps of the biceps. So back and forth between biceps and triceps, 3 reps, 10 seconds rest. I'm never going to failure, never pushing to the point where I'm going to go for an injury. So you want to make sure you're very cognizant of that when you're doing these stretch exercises. You never want to push to the point where you feel like you may get an injury. Definitely avoid that. That's the beauty of this time volume training protocol, is you're staying away from failure, you're staying away from injury, but you're getting massive volume on the target muscle. The stretch position, especially for biceps and triceps, is very powerful for building muscle. So that's what we're going for here. First time you do this, get used to the exercises. Maybe start with a 10-minute one. I've done these exercises before. I'm used to getting a massive stretch, so this is what I'm going to go for 40 minutes and see what happens. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to run through a few reps and sets on normal speed, and then I'll speed up and show you kind of what it looks like. Now, as you're going through, if you're getting to the point where you feel like it might be too much on either one of these, then you go to 20 seconds rest on both of them. So if you're getting 10 seconds rest, if you feel like you need more rest, if you feel like you're starting to pull a little bit too hard on the biceps, or it's too much of a struggle, you're staying away from failure again on these, then bump it up to 20 seconds rest. So here's what it looks like, and I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so that is the workout. And having just finished it, I can tell you this one is really, really good. Basically, what you want to keep in mind is that you're not chasing the pump, you're chasing the stretch. So the real focus on this, doing all your reps completely under full control, so that as you're going down into the stretch on both exercises, you're really feeling it and maximizing it. So, form points. As you're doing these with the biceps, come down into the bottom position. Externally rotate the shoulders. So rotate like that. That's going to put more stretch on the biceps. When you come down, your hips will drop back naturally. What you want to do as you're coming up, extend your hips and then come up and around. So as you're doing it, you're not keeping your hips bent like this. You're actually straightening your legs at the start as you're coming up. So start by straightening the legs. That increases the stretch on the biceps, and then you want to pull back with the biceps. So the first 3/4 of the exercise is done basically just straightening your legs. Now, when you're switching, I can feel that just doing one rep demoing this. I think I'm going to be pretty dang sore the next couple of days. Now, I digress. When you're going to the bodyweight tricep extension, thumbless grip. As you come to the bottom, don't swing out of the bottom. Lower yourself down. Don't let the elbows flare out. You want to keep those elbows down and in. Keep the inside of your elbows facing upwards. Get a stretch at the bottom, and then push back up under control. Now, to make it easier, you can go without the bench. You can move the bench in closer to make it harder. If you have something way to raise the bench, you can raise the bench up a little bit, or you can move it a little further back. That's going to put more of your body weight on the triceps when you're doing this exercise. Now, for both of these exercises, if you've not done a whole lot of stretch-focused work, either like incline dumbbell curls or overhead extensions, you're going to want to start off easy like this, probably about 10 to 15 minutes at the most. As I mentioned before, I've done a lot of stretch training for both of these, so I felt comfortable going full 40 and phenomenal. But even as experienced as I am with this, do not ever bounce out of the bottom position on either of the exercises. It's the best position. For one thing, you want to make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of the stretch, but you also want to make sure you're staying safe. So lower very, very slowly into that bottom position on that exercise under complete control the entire time. Overall, you're going to absolutely, I hesitate to say love this one, but if you love arm training, you're going to be really appreciative of this, I should say. So painful, but appreciative.